How's it going, guys? Electron, man. Hopefully you're getting a good view of this. This is a pretty big unit, and I'm actually working on it out here in my ham shack, or my ham area, not actually on my workbench, but figure I got enough room to sit here and play with it. Got me a little working area here anyway. Got this scored to me today. It's a Radio Shack. They say it's a 12-795. It's a shortwave all-band radio. Pretty cool. My sister actually is the one that found this at a garage sale. She picked it up for next to nothing. It was sold as not working, and I have turned it on, and it has no sound. But I did notice one thing interesting is that when I turn it on, I don't know if you can see right there or not, but when I turn it on, the meter comes on. So they assumed it was not working at all, and I just noticed when I was playing with it, when I turn it on, I do have a meter, and then if I tune, I notice the meter goes up or down. So I'm almost beginning to believe that this has got a speaker problem. I think the IF might be fine, and it might just be simply that it could be the headphone jack is not sensing unplugged and plugged. Could be a bad internal speaker. Could be a lot of things. But anyway, let's go ahead and do a little project of seeing if we can get this thing apart. How hard it is to get apart, and see what we can do about diagnosing what's going on with this little guy. It's a pretty cool little radio. It's definitely up my ballpark. She did good on this one. I'm an analog guy, and this is probably about as new as you're going to get analog with any decent receiver. I think this is probably pretty decent. I'm sure it's just super heterodyne. It's got all your cool little, what I'd call a good tabletop shortwave radio. It's got your antenna jack. It's got an earphone jack. It's even got a PA. I'm not sure why you'd want a mic PA on it, but it does have that, and it does basically on shortwave. It looks like it's about a what was it? I think it's about 3 megahertz to about 13 megahertz, right around in that range. So that's pretty much all the major shortwave you're going to get. It also does 27 megahertz. It does CB. The TV 2 channels are not going to do you a whole lot of good anymore. Everything went digital as far as those TVs, so that band's not going to do you any good. It's got the weather band. So it's kind of unique as far as, what has it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bands. But it's got a citizen band, CB band, shortwave, 2 bands of that. FM obviously, and then 2 bands of TV, then a VHF marine, and then air, and then watercraft and weather. So it's got a little bit of everything. Pretty cool little radio. Anyway, let's see if we can fix it. Hopefully I can. I think there's hope with it, with that meter deflecting like this. It tells me the IF is doing something. What exactly it is and why it's not putting any output on the speaker, we'll have to find out. Tell you what, I think first I'm going to do is let's just go ahead and turn her down here. And anyway, this little guy really handy to, if you just want to test to see if you got any output. Let me go ahead and turn her on here and see if we're getting any sound out of the earphone jack here. And I heard a crackle. Aha. You hear that, guys? Looks like it's pretty good, actually. I'll be dang. Okay, well, this is going to be a fast fix, right, guys? I hope. Okay, so we have verified one thing. As I thought, with the meter deflecting, it is receiving, and as you can tell, it's actually working fine. It just doesn't have any speaker output. Maybe it's sometimes these little sensors that it has on here to switch from internal to external will just not pick it up. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be the problem. Well, darn, it looks like we're going to have to go ahead and get inside of this sucker and see what we got going on. Okay. Let me stop the video here and work on figuring out exactly how to get this guy apart, and we'll come back once I got her taken apart. Okay, guys, I got, I believe, all the screws out of it. Kind of interesting how it's put together, but it does have a marked little arrows, but it's got the 4 corners. It has one in the middle, and it has one down here in the battery compartment. They're a hodgepodge of screws here. There's like 4 different sizes, so you might want to mark them as you pull them out. But anyway, yeah, it looks like those 4 there, and let's see if she'll slide on out of here. I think she will. It's already coming loose on me. Yeah. I feel it trying to come loose anyway. What's going on here? You don't want to pry it, you just want to work it back and forth and see what's going on here. Looks like I'm still hanging up in the front. There it goes. Oh, that's interesting. It slides in between. I don't know if you guys are catching that, but see how it slides in between that. Cool. Okay, well, looks like we got her open. Interesting. Well, what do we got inside here? That's interesting. Your this is your AC 110 volt power supply. It's your transformer and your bridge rectifier, and basically that gets you down in the 9 to 12 volts or whatever. I think this is 9 volts. Gets you down to it. What is that side right there? That's your tone and quality and slide switches. Separate circuit board there. Looks to be in good shape. There's your meter. There's your IFs. Kind of cheap on the tuners there. I'd like to see a bigger air core tuner, but it is a portable radio. Well. I was hoping maybe just to see some broke wires on here or something, but it does not appear to be the case. And where was that headphone plug-in at? That was down in here. Let me go ahead and it's an earphone right there. Let's see here. What we can do there is let me find my little banana clip here. What I can do here is I can just jump to pretend that it should go to output a speaker. So you got this, so you jump these 2. Okay, well that's, so it's not the sensing the earphone jack that's causing it. Well, where do we go next? We know we got output. Could it actually be the speaker? That would be unusual. Let me see here. Well, let me come back, guys. I'm gonna go find me another speaker that I will test this with and see if it's actually the speaker. I mean, I don't see how it would be the speaker. That's kind of interesting. But anyway, let me it's sure pointing that way though. I mean, diagnosis is we've got good receive. It's coming out the earphone. I guess it could be the op amp in here. Maybe it just has enough output for, no, because it's using, I bet you it's using the same op amp for the headphone as it is for the speaker. Anyway, I'm talking to myself here. Let me go find a little speaker and see if I can hook it up and see if it's actually just maybe the speaker. Okay, I'm back. I got one of these little, I think I've actually showed a couple times these. You ever buy something and wish that you bought more when you bought it? I can't remember where it was at. Parts Express, I think maybe. They had these on closeout. These little Sony shielded speakers, and I mean, they were like crazy. They was like $1.30 a piece or something. So I bought a dozen of them. I think this is like the last one. I have used these things for everything. They have really great sound quality, and I mean, they're like a 5-watt speaker, which is perfect for something like this. It's actually not the right size, but I bet you we could modify it if it'll work. If that's the case of what our problem is. Let's cross our fingers. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm running speaker here, and let me see if I got something coming through it right now. we verified we do have something playing. So if my suspicion is correct, then I should be able to bridge off of this, and we should have speaker sound. That's if we don't have a output amp out or something else going on. But let's cross our fingers here and see what we got going on here. I'll be dang. I'll be dang. Okay, well, you just seen live me do a troubleshoot. That was an easy one. You know, a lot of times this stuff is like that. Just go with the simple stuff, and a lot of times it's there before you have to get too bad in the circuit testing or anything else. So the speaker's bad in this. Interesting. Voice coil must be fried in or something. It just got no sound. As you saw when I hooked up a speaker there to the output, it was perfect. Well, this is a 3 watt, this is a 5 watt. This would probably be a better speaker to put in here considering it's shielded, but it's not the same size. Well, let me get to, first I need to get this speaker out here. And let me see what I can come up with as far as maybe some way I can modify it to where I can get this one. Because I'm not gonna go to the trouble to try to buy that same speaker. It does look like a CB speaker, but actually I'd rather put the shielded speaker in here. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller voice or circumstance, but I guarantee this is a better quality speaker. I'm talking to myself again. Sorry guys, I tend to do that. I'm out here working on this stuff. Anyway, let me stop the video again and let me get the speaker out of here and do a little tinkering around and see what I can do about getting this speaker here to fit in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I contemplated for a while, and finally I came up with what I did was I took the old stock speaker and I actually cut the whole cone and everything out of it and just kept the exterior bracket, because I got to measuring around and I got to noticing that if I cut that ring out, that this actually fits nice and snug inside of that. So basically my plan is to go and run these wires through here. This thing actually fits down inside. It's actually even got a little ridge that it sits down inside of nice and neatly. And with any luck, I'm going to be able to take that. I'll go ahead and move the speaker around. Here, set in there nice and square again. I just had to be Mr. OCD and have the wires pointing a certain way. That's what I already had. Okay. And basically, hopefully it should be a drop-in fit. Well, not necessarily a drop-in fit, but you know what I mean. I think that's going to do the trick. Let me see what we got here. Yeah. Tolerances are pretty tight here. Let's see what I got going on here. It's like it's dropping down on me. Might have to put some little attachment screws on it. Probably wouldn't hurt if I put a couple holes here and here and mount that to it so I don't have it moving around on me. Hopefully not all this is a mute point. I hope I don't get there and then it won't fit back in there, but looking at the measurement wise, I think we're pretty good. But yeah, I think I'm going to put a screw here and here just to hold it in place while I bolt it. Let me come back. Okay, take two on it. I actually took and drilled a couple of holes, and as you can see I mounted it in these two places, so now it's one rigid piece. Just setting it in there was not going to work, and I don't want it rattling around or anything, so it made more sense to go ahead and spend a little extra time and get her like I like her. And as long as it fits together now, I think we've got a real winning combination here. What do you think, guys? What do you think? All we gotta do now is wire her up. Positive to positive and negative to negative. Cut the wires off the little heat shrink here. Solder these two wires up here. And I bet you it's going to sound better than it did. I think that little Sony speaker is going to be a better quality speaker. They're nice to sound. Before I do all the trouble of soldering, let me make sure this guy's going to fit back together. That's my only worry is about clearance. I think we're going to be fine. Look at that. Yes, she's going to fit back together beautiful. Okay, guys, let me go stop this, go get a wire cutters and a couple pieces of heat shrink, and set that speaker up, see if that doesn't fix our problem. Okay, I had to dig out this soldering iron. This is by far not my favorite soldering iron, but it should do the trick for what I need here. The reason I don't like this thing is it's hard to set anywhere. Anyway, I believe I got that one soldered up nice. Yep. One down. The other one hooked up here. Circuit board soldering here, so. There we go. As long as my heat shrink fits over it, I'm good to go. And it does. Hit it with a little heat. Yeah, where's the lighter at? Lighter. I got one in my pocket. And does that. Done with that. Easy, don't pull out any connections. Make sure we're all right there. See if we can go ahead and slide her back in together. Kind of just slots in that top area. And it slides in straight. Just like so. Do we have sound now?
Your phone, and also can turn your phone into a listening device. And I think this is a consequence as well of the widespread use of end-to-end encrypted applications and so on, like WhatsApp, is that you actually have to get even more intrusive.
Awesome. Well, let me put this thing all back together and we'll come back and show you a final on the repair. And then I'll probably do a second video and kind of do a review of it and see how good of a reception it does. I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, we got her all back together. She assembled back together nice and easy. As you can see now.
Dina, apparently post-Gorbachev, you realized for the first time that you needed to earn
more. From what it sounds, it's going to have great sound.
Choice, something to do with underwear, I think.
Well, that's right. So basically,
works nice on it.
Because I was a little bit older than Olga, you see, I was 20 by the time Gorbachev came in.
Works
the
nice
first
on
thing
it.
he did, he started making some
RFC.
changes in the economy. He allowed small enterprises for the first time.
I think we got a winner here, guys.
Cooperatives sprang up, and they
That is
sold
one repair
private
completed.
at the prices that. So
Awesome. That is awesome.
So in the Soviet
Really satisfying. You know, this thing was probably for sure headed to the scrapyard. It was deemed as non-functional, and it probably would have ended up in the dump. And lo and behold, all it needed was a speaker. By the way, when I cut the other bracket off to take that speaker, I went in and pulled the voice coil. And the voice coil was cooked in it. And it was a 3-watt speaker, so I'm kind of surprised. I mean, somebody must have just been blasting this thing full volume for a long time to actually burn that voice coil up in that little speaker. But Like I said, now it's got a magnetically shielded Sony, a little bit smaller, but a more full speaker in it now. I'm sure it probably sounds better than it did before, and you saw the little modifications I had to do to get it in there, but ain't no rattle or nothing going on in there. Anyway, that concludes the repair of this Radio Shack 12-795 all-band receiver. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna get a rag and clean her up real nice, and I'll probably do another video on this on a review of how good the receive on it is, etc. See how good it performs. But I'm just glad to bring it back and have a functional, nice little radio. And I'm sure the sister didn't say exactly, but I think she paid like $1 or $2 before it broke. So, and we know what it was. Is it was just a speaker. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this little video. I'm doing it in a different position than my bench normally. Hopefully I'm not too close up on it. You got a good view of it. I guess when I go to edit the video, I'll find out. But anyway, I just thought it'd be an interesting video on the little shortwave radio repair, kind of from start to finish on how I troubleshot it and how I got her back up and running. It's a really easy one, but a lot of times they are. Dirty switch, bad connection, etc. Anyway, guys, have a great day. This is Electron Man. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and hit that bell so you know when the next video is coming out.